Hey guys, I have another candle review, and this time around it's for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick warm apple pie candle from Bath & Body Works, part of the fall 2019 collection. By the time you see this video, this should probably already be in White Barn stores. It's part of the phase 1 of fall candles, so it should be out nationwide. So the notes on this read: baked Granny Smith apple, melted brown sugar, flaky homemade crust with essential oils. And wow, you can actually smell this here. I'm so shocked. It's not as strong as I'd still wish it would be, but you can actually smell it. It's not unscented, so two thumbs up for that. So basically, before getting into the throw and the performance and everything, let me talk about what it smells like. This has been out for a few years now. I think 2017 was the last time we saw it. Everyone loved the fragrance, but the first two, the original ones, were totally unscented. You couldn't smell it. It was just terrible, and it's just what happened to this fragrance? Why does it smell so good on cold? But when you go to light it, you just absolutely cannot smell it. So fast forward to 2019 here, and we have the third iteration, I believe. And I do have to say, it is probably the cutest packaging of it. It has probably the most enticing and juiciest packaging of all the warm apple pies that we've had. And yeah, so here we are with it again. So basically what it smells like is you do get apples in there. It's not the sort of chemically hairspray, moldy apple that you get in heirloom apple and farm stand apple and all that stuff. It's a warmer, sweeter apple that's mixed with brown sugar and cinnamon. It's very a cozy, warm, cinnamon apple type of fragrance. The brown sugar adds quite a bit of warmth to it, and it's just a nice, really the inside of an apple pie. It's warm and cozy, sweet, cinnamon, brown sugar, apple fragrance is what you get from it. And then you get a little bit of a crust note that is reminiscent of the crust that you find in sweet cherry pie or berry waffle cone. After having burned berry waffle cone and blueberry pie pretty much the whole season prior to this, I do have to say the crust notes in berry waffle cone and blueberry pie are much stronger and much more prominent than it is in a warm apple pie. I think when warm apple pie first came around, that was our first introduction to that sort of pie crust waffle cone fragrance that I remember when I first burned this and first reviewed it. I thought the crust note was the greatest thing ever. It was so strong and awesome. But now, in retrospect, in comparison to blueberry pie and berry waffle cone, after having that for a few years, it doesn't seem as crusty and flaky as it did initially in the first original releases. So just a little bit weird there, I guess, because blueberry pie has such a dense, almost once again a biscuit scone muffin crust note, that warm apple pie in comparison does not seem as crusty and flaky or dense as blueberry pie or even berry waffle cone, but there is indeed a crust note in there, so I'm still happy about that. It's definitely a lot more prominent on the bakery and crust note than the peach cobbler fragrance that I reviewed previously. So at least there's that. But it's indeed the same exact fragrance as has existed in years past. You get a little bit of butter in there too. I do have to say, now that you can smell this a little bit more, there is something slightly plasticky and waxy about the fragrance. It's very nitpicky, but it is just something that I picked up and that I just wanted to pass on, because now that you can smell it a little bit better, I feel like there's something a little bit waxy or cheap about it, but it's not terrible and it's not off-putting enough to discredit the candle altogether. But yeah, so it smells just like it has in years past. So if you liked the fragrance before, you'll like it again. So then let's go into the throw and performance. So yeah, this is a fourth day burn, I believe. The wicks on this are the very long, flat, curling type wicks, and they are vicious and they stay long. Even after I trim them, they just become very long and vicious, and just massive wicks on these that you can see even with generous trimming, they still just dance viciously in the wind, and they do soot quite a bit. It burns very hot and fast. So just please keep an eye on these. They are quite a soot monster. So just watch it, because these do soot, and just it's almost uncontrollable at some points how vicious this candle is. I'm afraid to trim them too much to small little nubs, because then they'll most likely dud out. So this is just one of those where there's that fine line between dudding out and just vicious flames. So there's that. But other than that, it pulls out fine and all that kind of stuff. This one is weird in the sense that I feel like the color dye in this wax is just more intense and different than other candles that I've had. Like we've had red candles before, but this one has like leaves like a clumpy red like residue on the side of the jar. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's like these drops of like red. It almost looks just like dye or wax that sort of stay on the side of the glass. It's sort of weird. And I extinguish my candles by sort of like swooshing around the liquid wax pool. So then the liquid will cover the wicks, and then I don't have to like blow them out and get all this, smoke and everything. And when you do that, it like leaves this like very like long-standing red, just like wax and a residue that just sticks to the side of the glass. It's just very strange. I haven't seen a candle do that so, I don't know, strangely and vividly as this warm apple pie one, but just something I want to throw out there. But in any case, what we've all been waiting for, how is the throw on this candle? Yes, you can actually smell it. In years past, this has been like literally unscented, like a 1 to a 2 at best. You can barely ever smell it. I was actually just burning the 2017 version in a separate room, just so I could do a side-by-side comparison in 2 separate rooms. And I can confirm that the 2017 one was infinitely weaker and like practically unscented. All you got was like just the faintest like burnt warm apple pie fragrance when you just hovered over it. Once again, like a 1 to maybe a 2, but more in the 1 range. Like totally unscented, a complete waste of the candle. But then on the other hand, this one you walk into the room and you can totally smell it. It's totally adequate. It's pleasant. Is it as strong as I had hoped it to be? No. Is it as strong as berry waffle cone or even blueberry pie? No, it's definitely not even as strong as sweet cherry pie. So it is one of the weaker pie fragrances, but you can actually still smell it. I would just say give it a good like 5 to maybe a 5.5. It's not as, once again, strong as like blueberry pie and definitely not as strong as berry waffle cone, but it's definitely much stronger than previous years. Just a very good medium. Once again, I wish it was still a little bit stronger. Just like the reason you buy BBW candles is because you want, once again, that grand throw that's just gonna like knock you out of the house and just suffocate you with delicious fragrance. This is such a delicious fragrance that I wish it did like, suffocate me more with that fragrance. But I can't complain too much because I guess they did listen to the fact that it does smell stronger than past years. And I'm still getting like a good 5 to a 5.5, just a very medium adequate fragrance. I can smell it, no issue, in a smaller bedroom. Not as strong, once again, in an open concept area, but not as unscented as years past. So we're good to go there. And then let me wrap this up. Overall, I would still recommend this. You can actually smell it this year. It has probably the cutest packaging since any of the variations of warm apple pie that we've had. This is a fan favorite. People love it, and you can actually smell it, so sure, why not? It's not something I don't think I'm going to hoard like I, stocked up on a lot of berry waffle cone, and I think I still prefer blueberry pie more, and I think sweet cherry pie is still stronger than this, but it's still a very delicious, nice, cozy warm apple pie fragrance, and I still really enjoy it. Maybe one more wouldn't hurt. Once again, I still wish it was a little bit stronger, but it's still detectable and pleasant. So all good to go there. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.